It's time for Furious Action Gamers Mutant Mayhem. It's pretty good. When I was young and didn't know any better, I was a fan of comic books. Most of them were from the early 90s, and at $2 a piece, these things were like half advertisements, which were usually ads for video games. These ads were more interesting to me than the comics themselves, because that's what I have memories of, flipping through and saying, oh, video game stuff. I'd like to play that. Except Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing was pretty dope, but there was always one ad that always stuck out to me, sort of burrowing itself into my supple brain. This ad was always reserved for the higher quality, glossy back cover in bloody red text. Splatterhouse. I love this tagline. Just keep telling yourself, it's only a video game. I pored over this ad every time I came across it, with its cool Evil Dead references, disgusting descriptions of gore and monsters, and it's all complemented by these fuzzy screenshots that left quite a bit to the imagination. The description of a giant maggot-infested corpse was repulsively fascinating to me as a kid. I had to play it. But what the hell is a TurboGrafx 16? And so I never did. Until today. And wow, does it suck. This is a Namco game. They made stuff like Pac-Man, Dig Dug. They're like the cutesy, approachable developers that girls like. And so, but here's this quarter-munching, slow-paced beat-em-up platformer. Why was this made? I just had to get to the bottom of this. So I bought a plane ticket to Japan to go to Namco headquarters directly. No, but really, you're this guy named Rick. You and your girlfriend get attacked by monsters or something. You die, she gets kidnapped, and an evil mask attaches itself to your face, granting you life once more at a price. Or something. I assume its motivations are that it will eventually take over your body or something, but until then, you're playing Splatterhouse. And so begins this slow, trudging, I guess you could call it a platformer. You jump over stuff sometimes, but look at this jump. Some jumps you can see in gameplay and immediately know that it feels bad to do it. Look at this. A part of my brain groans every time I jump. And so what you're seeing here, this like slow march down hallways, smashing zombies in the face. That's the entire game. That's what you do. Keep it up for about half an hour, and you beat the game. If only it was so simple. But, I mean, they gotta make money somewhere, right? There's actually there's a developer interview, and it's like the most inane thing I've ever read in my life. And like there's like this extended section describing the appropriate sound effect for smashing a monster's head with a stick. I remember Mizuno asked me to change the sound when you behead an enemy. Although I was a little annoyed because I had already made a sound for it, I redid it anyway. However, that too got rejected, and so did a bunch more takes. So I stopped and tried to ask myself again, what was I doing wrong? When Mizuno came over to my desk and took a big, deep breath and pushed all the air to the front of his lips and then let it out. It made this plosive pop sound that became the sound of Rick beheading enemies with his machete. Pop goes their head, laughs. That experience was eye-opening and taught me to always seek out the advice of the planners when I work on music or sound. A lot of inspiration flowing freely in Splatterhouse development, huh? What are you talking about? What? Took a big, deep breath, pushed all the air to the front of his lips, like that? What? What is... Wait. Oh, that's it. What a waste of my time. So yeah, that's the entire story of this development. It was 1988. Some new guys at Namco liked slasher movies like Friday the 13th. And so they dumped this steaming pile of garbage into arcades. And I guess that's what's so damn funny about it, is nobody set out to make some work of art. It's clear immediately this is someone referencing something that they liked, and yet it made waves from cool graphics alone. Video game violence like this was taboo, I guess, because I mean, this is 4 years before Mortal Kombat. Besides the horror motifs, Splatterhouse shares a lot of gameplay elements with Castlevania, in that the majority of gameplay is so reliant on timing that it's more rhythm game than action platformer. Where Castlevania's movement and combat feel weighty, this game feels stiff. And there's a world of difference there. Because I mean, it looks so simple. Watching the gameplay and me sucking at it probably makes you think, wow, I'm pretty sure I could get through this with ease. And sure, but Namco just got you. Like they got thousands of kids at the arcades in Akihabara circa 1988. Splatterhouse is made to munch your yen coins. You know, it's going to cost you like $10 to clear your first time. Its grotesque style is less of a statement or a form of expression and more a crowd-drawing spectacle to sucker onlookers into wasting their own money. The genius lies in its advertising. If it wasn't in the back of a comic book and I walked past it in an arcade, saw the cabinet, I would be compelled to play it anyway. It advertises itself just sitting there. The scariest thing about Splatterhouse is how compelled I've been to play it after getting advertised to. It's an absolute scam, and I hesitate to call it a real game.